Recently, a part of the Belarus-Poland border Bruzgi transformed into a battlefield, one where political rivalries challenged humanitarian plight to a duel of death. What started off as a one man, many country conflict soon turned out to be a watershed moment in European politics. With 21 migrants still missing and thousands sent back after being beaten to bruises, the migrant crisis at the Belarus Poland border continues to remain one of the latest entrants to the list of crimes against humanity.
Obey the law and leave this place. Staying here is forbidden.
Culmination of many incidents have led to the creation of the crisis. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, who is commonly touted as Europe's last dictator, has been accused of deliberately orchestrating this crisis to seek revenge from the European Union. His relations with European Union deteriorated when EU imposed sanctions on Belarus as an aftermath of his government's brutal crackdowns on Belarusian protesters. With claims of election fraud and rigging, these protesters had been disputing the election victory of Alexander Lukashenko as the sixth time state president since 2020. The situation worsened earlier this year when Belarus intercepted a passenger flight flying from Greece to Lithuania and made it forcefully land in the state capital of Minsk. One of the passengers in the flight was dissident journalist and a loud vocal critique of the Lukashenko regime, Roman Protasevich, who was promptly arrested, and that led on to wide international outrage. The European Union reacted to this incident with condemnations and a fresh round of sanctions, to which Lukashenko reacted by manufacturing the migrant crisis at the Belarusian border. To tackle unrestricted migrant flow from the Middle East to Europe, European Union had entered into multiple deals with many Mediterranean countries such as Algeria, Morocco and Turkey, who absorbed migrants in their territories against a steady flow of euros. Majority of these Europe-bound migrants never really end up reaching their destination and have to live their entire lives in subhuman conditions in these countries. This is where Belarus stepped in and promised them a secure and successful route to Europe. Belarus shares its borders with three European Union countries: Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland. Establishing a connection with the Middle East and giving the migrants a free pass to enter Europe, Belarus opened its flights from three pivotal airports of the Middle East: Damascus, Istanbul, and Dubai. Spending thousands of money, many Afghans and Kurds availed this route, planning to enter Europe, especially after Afghanistan was taken over by Taliban and conflicts continued to rattle Middle East. The steady influx of migrants started in July and reached its peak in September. According to certain Polish estimates, 10,000 migrants were waiting in Belarus to cross the border and enter Europe, according to an investigative piece by the New York Times. Misinformation on social media platforms like Facebook had aggravated the problem at the grassroots level. Rapid escalation of migrant numbers made the three EU countries take stern steps. Latvia announced emergency, Lithuania declared a state of extraordinary situation, and Poland constructed a barbed fence along its border. Once the migrants landed in Minsk, they were allegedly taken to the border by Belarusian authorities. In the frigid forest terrain of the border, the migrants had two choices: either to cut through the barbed fences by the wire cutters given to them by Belarusian authorities, or to die a slow, painful death coupled with hunger and cold. On 8 November 2021, the first impactful and substantial attempt was made by the migrants to breach the barbed border. Previous to this, a reported 32,000 attempts were already made, but none of it matched the magnitude of this one. This time, migrants used tree logs, shovels, and wire cutters to break through the border, only to be dispersed by water cannons and tear gas used on them by the opposite side border guards. Separately, several accounts of human rights abuse and mistreatment of migrants also emerged as instances of civil unrest. The three EU countries jointly termed the crisis as hybrid warfare, and increasing instances of vandalism from the border led to an increased diplomatic pressure. Across the Atlantic, European Union received unwavering support from United States of America and Canada, whereas Belarus continued to be backed up by its long-standing ally Russia. By mid-November, Belarus cleared its border in a bid to ease tensions and relocated all the migrants in a giant warehouse near Bruzgi. Some of the migrants were sent back to Iraq via Iraqi chartered flights, but majority of them remain in the warehouse, hoping to cross to Europe in the near future. Their fate remains uncertain to this day.